Okay, I know you guys want some more Wrigley in your life because you've told me that. So, I want to show you something, and this is just for fun. If you're a real jiu-jitsu instructor, I know I'm not a teacher. I know I'm not an instructor. And I'm going to probably miss a lot of things that you would point out, but this is just for fun. So, I want to show you, before I go out and cut the grass, how Wrigley's helping me drill some of the techniques we worked on this past week in jiu-jitsu. So, I love side control. So side control is, I have this cross face. I've got my arm under my opponent's hip. This elbow is blocking this hip. My right knee is blocking their other hip, so they can't get away, okay? Now, if you do this right, Coach Kevin always says you take this middle finger, go all the way to the armpit. Wrigley doesn't have much of an armpit. But if you do it right, use the shoulder pressure, and you can see Wrigley's doing a great job framing here. It's almost like someone's taught him jiu-jitsu, but he's got this frame in place. Ideally, I would like to get that frame out of the way. But this shoulder, while I've got a good grip all the way to his armpit, if I use the shoulder pressure, really drive into his carotid artery there in his neck, a lot of times people will tap, because if they don't tap right here, you'll put him to sleep. Wrigley, you didn't go to sleep, did you, buddy? Okay, all right, so he's good. So, but from here, what I like to do is transition to knee on belly and then go for a choke, okay? So one way to do that, I like to come back with this hand and get a grip in his collar, okay? So I get a thumb in the back of the collar. I don't know if you can see that, but if he were wearing a jiu-jitsu top, I would be right in the back of the collar. All right, now, where I'm blocking the hip with this elbow, I want to slide my hand up here. So if he were a person and he had a belt on, I'd grab the belt, or I'd go right on the waistband of the pants. But using my knuckles on the mat here and my hand driving into my opponent here, I pop up to knee on belly, okay? Now, if he doesn't turn into me or away from me, like he didn't, okay, I've already got my finger in the back of his collar. I take this hand, go in the same side, okay? And as I drop down, I can bring this grip over. I've got a cross choke. I don't know if you can hear him, but that's already tight, okay? So I'll loosen it up. But if I have to, I can slide this right knee off to the mat, pull him into me, and I can finish the cross choke, okay? But let's say that when I do that, I get my grip here, pop up the knee on belly, he turns away like that, okay? Since I still have a hold of his collar, it's very easy for me to drop back down into side control, okay? I want to keep the pressure. Now notice, my knee is blocking his hip now from getting away, okay? So, if I can get this seatbelt in, you know, obviously he's smaller than a person would be. It would be a little harder to get this good a seatbelt grip. But when I get this in, this knee is still holding his hips in place. My left knee, I want to slide it up as far behind his head as I can. So if you can see, I've slid it all the way up and my foot is right about his hips, okay? Because the reason that's important, when I sit back to my hip, I want to pull his upper body off the floor and I want to get my bottom hook in. That's what's going to keep him from escaping, okay? So I've got my knee way up here. You can even do this from having stepped over, okay? That's even better. But when I sit back, see, I pull him up off the ground and I get this bottom hook in. Now, if I can finish it from here, right? All I got to do is sink this choking arm in deeper. I come across with my figure 4, go behind his head or behind my head, tighten it up. I can finish the choke. If you can hear him, I'm going to ease up because it's pretty tight. He doesn't mind though. He's a bulldog. But let's just say when I do that, I'm able to go all the way to a body triangle. Now, even if I need time to work my position and get this grip in, I got him in a full body triangle. He can't get away, right? Same thing. Once I go all the way to my bicep, bring this hand, and sometimes you don't want to come like this because if he were a person, he could reach up and block this, okay? So you want to be sneaky. Just slide right in behind him And then I come across, tighten that grip up. He's gonna tap. He's not gonna tap, but your opponent normally will. So that's just a little fun with Wrigley and a little something we worked on this week in Jiu Jitsu. Wrigley, did you have fun, buddy?